shoes untied, Todd.
Yeah, I'll live.
I'll take my paycheck back if we don't name all term.
We're here with Indiana State coach Greg Lansing. Greg, I hate to say this, but you take away an 8-minute stretch of this game, and maybe it's different. I mean, you got to be happy with some of the good things. Obviously, the bad stretch was not as good, but all in all, what do you take away from this game?
Well, what I told the staff on the bench at the end of the game, and then the players in the locker room, is that's the team we got to be. That's what we've been looking for. A really good 20 minutes from start to half. They had 16 points in the second half with under 2 minutes to go in the second half, and obviously we had to foul a bunch. But if you put two halves together like that, you probably win this game. You probably weren't going to beat Illinois last night, but it would have been right in the game towards the end. So that's what we've been looking for. We got all these guys that are trying to learn and how hard it is to win and how hard you got to compete. And basketball's a game of runs. You can't give a run like we did in the first half. I think it was like 27-5. I didn't have enough timeouts to stop it. And the same thing we did at the start of the Illinois game. So basketball's a game of spurts, and we got to shorten theirs and lengthen ours.
Defensively, you made it tough inside for Memphis, except for that 5-minute stretch at the beginning of the second half where they basically
and second shots. We clogged it up in there off of Shaq. He's such a talented player. We want to make those guys have to beat us from the perimeter, a little bit like what we did with Illinois last night, and it worked a little bit. But you got to block that. You can't let them get a run and come flying off the glass. And I think we fouled the shooter a couple times there that really hurt. But you get down like you get down the first half. You fight to get back in, and I can't remember what the closest we had it to, but it expends a lot of energy, and we had a lot of good efforts off the bench with some of these guys. So I hate losing. I hate coming here and not being able to come back like we have in the past on these tournaments against these top conferences in the country. But I like what I saw out of the team in the last 20 minutes, and we got a lot to build on.
Offensively, were you relatively happy? It seemed like some of the shots, you were getting shots during that dry spell that just...
Devontae, good luck.
Several of them rimmed out. Were you happy with the way the offense was executed today? Maybe not with the final result.
When we've moved the ball, we've gotten a lot of good shots. Our field goal percentage is terrible, and you look at Justin, 2 for 10, and Christian 2 for 13. Those are guys that are going to be our top two scorers, are the guys that we look to first and second. They're going to make shots. What's important to me is how frustrated those guys are. They're upset. They're in there beating themselves up in the locker room because it means a lot to them. And that's what it takes to be a really special player. And those guys will get there, keep getting these other guys better around them. But it'd be nice to see that shot go in a little better, because I know it eases your defense, the pressure on your defense a lot.
But you couldn't have been unhappy with the looks, though. I mean, the looks.
No, you're right. We did get good shots. Our offensive, the ball movement was good. Inside, we got good looks. On the perimeter, I think maybe we're probably taking a few too many threes, but if they're open, they need to be shooting them, and then we're going to start making more of those shots. So much more pleased with the offense, and then the defense with our competitiveness in the second half.
What the young guys learn from this? I know that's 2 losses, but I imagine there were some things that they got out of this anyway.
You know what? It's like this. You go in the locker room after losing a game, and you're like, man, if we'd have just played better in those last few minutes in the first half, or against the start of the game in Illinois. So you learn that, and you learn the importance of putting together 20-minute halves and playing every possession. So maybe a little bit of that, the spurts of basketball, the runs of basketball, and you can't have the longer spurts of play, and just being ready to play and really compete all the time. We put on the board before the locker room, it's got to start today, and it's got to start possession by possession, and I thought we did that in the second half.
It's a gauntlet. I mean, Butler proved they're next, and they proved they're not going to be any shrinking violet either with the way they played in the Bahamas.
Yeah, they listen to some of the coach, and they're doing a great job, that new staff without Brandon there. But all they're talking about is how tough each and every one of those guys are. So we're going to get our nose bloodied on Wednesday night. Hope we have a good turnout of our fans, and our guys. It's not going to be easy. They're going to have to compete like crazy on a possession-to-possession basis, because I promise you Butler will.
All right, thanks, Greg.